Well, this setup is really all about keeping myself realistic on what can be actually accomplished each day. One of the biggest problems I find with most task managers is that people just put way too much stuff in there and it just becomes an overwhelming mess. The whole point of the time sector system is to help you to get realistic about what can or cannot be achieved in a day. So let's go through the setup so that you can decide if this would work for you. Now with Todoist, we know that we've got these standard features up at the top on the sidebar. We've got search, inbox today, upcoming, filters and labels. Now what you'll see here in my today view is all the tasks that I need to do today that are categorized into the different types of work I do. Now all these things here, particularly communications and admin, which you'll see is the biggest block today, what these actually represent or will be are the tasks that are linked to my calendar. So I have a communications time block, I also have an admin time block. And on the day of recording, I also have an audio visual time block as well, which is going to take care of my YouTube videos. And given that this project that I'm working on, this Todoist project, is also an audio visual feature, that's in this time slot right now. So I have a 3-hour block today for dealing with audio visual tasks. So what it means now when I come to my calendar is it says, okay, you've got 3 hours now to work on audio visual work. This is the list of the stuff that I need to do this week, and this is what I'm going to do. It's what I'm doing right now. So as we go down here, I've got all my categories are done by label, not section. So we'll just go into my labels right here and you will see my labels are, the 8 labels that I have relate to my type, the work that I do. You will obviously be different. Maybe you're not a writer, maybe you're not doing audio visual work, but I could guess that you are probably doing communications and admin and chores. These 3 here are probably universal for most people. We've all got communications to deal with, we've probably all got admin to deal with, and certainly we have chores. So my labels are actually categorized by the different type of work I do, and these match time blocks in my calendar so that I know when it's communication time, the only thing I need to look at is my communications list here. I don't need to look anywhere else because I'm not doing other types of work. I'm only doing communication work. That's my purpose of the labels. Now, for those if you're not sure how I've set this up, if we go into my view settings up at the top here, you will see that I'm grouping by label. You have a lot of options in Todoist about how you want to group them. I group mine by label so that they match the time blocks in my calendar. Coming down here to my actual filters, today's objectives, which I've actually already completed today, are usually the 2 most important tasks that I need to do. So anything that's flagged red and has a date for today is going to come up in my today's objectives. Today's focus are all the tasks that need to be done today, except for the unflagged ones, the P4 if you like. This gives me a much more focused view because these are actually going to be the more important tasks that I need to do today. Tomorrow's focus is basically my planning area. So today it's obviously still showing me today because the filter for this is 2 days and not P4. I'll show you the filter in a moment. But what you see here is that I've got all my stuff that needs to be done tomorrow. At the moment, it's not looking too bad because usually a Thursday, which I'm recording this on Wednesday, is essentially a coaching day. So I'm on calls all day. So there won't be that many tasks for me to do tomorrow. So that's the favorites area. These are what I do. It's almost like what I create here for myself is a workflow. I start with my objectives for the day. Once I've seen those, I switch over to my today's focus. These has everything that's important today in this list. And then tomorrow's focus is my planning area, where at the end of the day, I look at this and say, yep, that's a realistic day. Now, going into my projects area, I have this week, which is all the tasks that need to be done this week. Now, you'll see that at the moment there's not actually that many because a lot of the stuff that I have to do this week are related to my recurring areas of focus, which we will get to in a moment. Then I've got next week. Now, next week are anything that needs to be done that needs that don't need to be done this week. I don't need to worry about any of these this week. And like here is something that I've actually ordered or will be ordering on the 20th of May when it comes back in stock basically. And I've actually added a date to that already because I know the date I'm going to do that. This month is similar. It's just anything that needs to be done that's not really urgent, but things that may want to come up into my this week folder. Next month is pretty similar. There's usually a lot more. This is really basically my dumping ground, if you like. But anyway, long term and on hold, things that may be important at some point. Nothing in there is a date on it. Now, my recurring areas of focus are very important, and I've actually got these organized by date because these are the critical tasks that I need to do each week. And to me, they are very, very important. That's why they're pretty much all flagged. In fact, they are all flagged. And what they do is basically just, these are the ones that I must do each week or each month, and they will pop up as and when they come up. My routines are just those basic little things that actually just have to be done on a daily or weekly basis that are not really that important, but may be important. And again, I've got these actually organized by section, so I can actually go into here and switch to board view, and I can see everything by a board if I wish. I don't generally do that, but I can see these as a board if I wish. But essentially, these things here, the recurring areas of focus and routines, once they're set up, that's it. I don't really have to fiddle with them because, well, they're set up already and they're recurring. Every 3 months or so, I'll review it just to make sure that they're still relevant. But for all intents and purposes, that is actually how it sets up. So how this works on a daily basis is the only thing I need to worry about is this week, and they are just going to pop up as and when they do. But essentially, most of my time, or in fact, my workflow is just following this. The only tasks that get a date is this week tasks, unless I know for sure about the date something needs to be done. Everything else is just my planning area. And I see my projects as my holding pens, holding pens for tasks that need to be done at some point in the future. The only thing I need to decide is when am I going to do them. If I'm going to do them in the following week, they will move up into my this week folder. I will add a date, and then really I'm working from this list every single day. And I would say that on a pretty much out of 7 days, 5 days out of 7, I am going to clear all my tasks for the day. Now, the whole point of this is it's realistic. This is what I can get done in the day. There's no point in adding more and more and more tasks because if you're not doing them, you're just disappointing yourself. And you don't want to be doing that. What you want to be doing is building that momentum saying, yes, this is a realistic day based on the meetings that I have, the other commitments that I have. This is what I can get done today. And that's it. That's the time sector system in a nutshell. That's how I use my Todoist every single day. It's been a lifeline. I absolutely love it. And yeah, it's great. So hopefully that's given you some ideas. You can check out my YouTube video where twice a year I actually go through how I have this set up in more detail, and you can actually see how my Todoist is evolving over the years, because that goes right back, I think, to 2018. So there's quite a few videos you can see there. Thank you for watching this little brief video.